Rich Town.
Yeah, the
VA.
let's do it.
Chill. Challenge accepted. We the best, bitch. Ready, set, shit. New order, fuck the world, we all we got. Smell strong like a spinach fight. Y'all potpourri a lot. Sweet like the aisle in the
From
bath in
beginning
the
to
body
the end,
spot.
more than friends we can. Blood out, blood in. Jackson Ward to West End. Since young man playgrounds to the pen, we been tight like twins in the womb. Yeah, daddy out wildin', he out on the block. Me and my niggas was deciding what to do or not. If a nigga get locked or a nigga get shot, I'm down, whatever the plot.
We all we got. We all we got. Man, we all we got.
Figuring around in the
That
woods,
nigga know
figuring out as
exactly
we go
what
Like,
he
we know
doing.
what you doing. So, yeah,
As
that's all
niggas
it
said, I couldn't do the music myself, so I had to shoot it out my nuts.
is.
Came out my nuts with a knowledge base. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, you straight. Okay.
I couldn't figure it out myself. My semen had to bring it to the forefront.
You know, glad he didn't inherit your Magneto genes.
Oh, they scared to death.
Don't let them touch your computer.
Do you understand? Him and Jai be like, anything gets, they be like, cuz stop, wait a minute. Then they come back on. They be like, no, hopefully it stop here. I'll take all of that for everybody else to be drama free.
Yeah, we lost about $1 million of music.
Hell yeah.
I mean, a lot of the hottest shit we made fucking gone.
Just gone, disappeared into the nothing.
Floppies were straight. Next thing you know,
The Trinity, son. If we had, I be telling him all the time, if I could just give him the Trinity, the beats that's on it,
with just the keys and the melodies and all that.
oh,
shit.
we put some shit down on that Trinity.
Yeah.
And what was it? Isabel destroyed all that shit? Which one of them
I don't know,
storms?
but I remember we had all of the fly. I don't know what happened to the Trinity, to tell you the truth. I
No,
can't
the
remember.
disc got destroyed in the back of the van when it stormed. Isabel,
okay.
when that joint came,
Okay, yeah.
son, that shit was halfway up the middle of the van. I went to my mom. It was at my crib when we was still over there. We stuck in the house for a week. I go over that bitch, open the door, and slush. All my notebooks from high school, all my, like, everything. The disc was in a box, full up. Like, they were still in the box.
Full of water.
Full of water. I opened the box. I was like, I still got them, though. Like, I just kept them. Like, maybe one day technology will just get so crazy.
We could get some shit.
Because think about what we thought back then. I wouldn't have thought we could do the shit we could do now. I'm editing videos and shit on my phone, dog. That shit won't even impossible to me.
We used to like be like, what if we could do? What if
What
we could?
if?
And all now we can all that what if shit we were talking about. We doing it.
Son, his girl played me a song a couple weeks ago. I'm like, oh, that bitch is nasty. Nasty. Where you do that at? She was like, what you mean? I was like where you recorded that and shit? Like, where you get the beat and shit from? She was like, I did it on my phone. I was like, did what? Like, I made the beat and everything on GarageBand, and then I recorded the vocals and everything on my phone.
Yeah, if you had that.
I was like, bitch, I'm gonna slap the shit out you right now just for having capabilities out here.
Anytime we were riding around, we'd be like, oh, that's hot. We be doing shit in the car. Oh, that's hot. By the time we get to the house, what was up?
What was that? Like, can't get it. Even if we get it down.
All gone. Lyrics, beat, pattern, everything gone. We had to start walking around with digital recorders. Remember that?
Right.
Just to say shit in the
Just
digital
trying to
recorder.
remember the idea. Y'all walking around with studios on your phone.
With studios in your pocket. I mean, you can make it, upload it, and everything. Shoot a
That's what I mean.
video.
Dog, mixed it. I'm saying, I'm listening to that shit. I'm like, go, that shit like she went to the studio. That bitch like, no, I did this on my phone. I don't know nothing about mixing, nothing. That'd be disgusting.
Yeah, that's
Well, let's pay the bills. What's up, y'all? Jumping in, Bandittville, Convo 10. I got Grimm Detailz in the building. J Mines, J Mizzle, Jizzle, all of the above names. What's good, my brother?
but now known as
Give it to him. Yes, we here. That's what we here for.
Amir, Asim, Onatah.
Ooh, give me the details on that, my friend. I ain't heard that yet.
Just that's the name that, sitting around. My wife, she changed her name to Lotus.
Okay.
And so we're talking about spirit name.
Mm-hmm.
The name that come to you, when you're meditating and digging into the astral realm of things, And
Okay.
I was looking through name books and all that stuff. And the Amir Asim came to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, you know what Amir means.
No, give me the whole shit.
So Amir means king, prince, or ruler.
Okay.
Asim means protector. Onatah is an Iroquois name.
That's what I was about to ask you. What is the culture?
That's Iroquois from, it means of the earth.
Okay.
So,
Indeed.
You can look at that however you want to look at it. Of the earth meaning of the earth, like from the earth,
Mm-hmm.
or of the earth, like in the earth realm,
Right.
or of the earth as in the motherfucker standing on the land ruling over people.
And every way you can think of it.
Any way you can think of it. But I don't think of it that way.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my pattern of thinking. But the way I thought about it when the name first came to me, it was like, of the earth, I'm an earth sign, a Taurus.
Okay. I like, see?
You see what I'm saying?
Synchronicity.
So,
I like it.
Of the earth, meaning from the earth. From the earth we come, to the earth we go when we go.
Indeed.
So all of those spiritual aspects of it. So spirit name, spiritual name, come to me in that way, and that's what I'm with.
Amir.
My man.
My brother. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I got you here today. Thank you again. We back in the basement, son.
Yeah.
A basement original, like we said. Y'all will catch up in due time.
Yeah,
we
they
ain't
don't
really
know the
doing
3
this for
feet
y'all.
under. They don't know the 3 feet under.
Y'all don't understand, but we back in the basement. So my brother hit me a week ago or whatever, said I gotta come on the pod. I got some things that I want to get out there, talk to the brothers. We got. Y'all know what we here for.
Mm-hmm.
We here to kick it and share what we done learned, because we come from not knowing shit, being lied to about damn near everything.
Not damn near.
And at a certain point, even before we knew a damn thing, we knew.
Yeah.
Everything we know is lies. So it's time to rewind the tape, goddamn. It's time to reset.
Yeah.
So talk to them, Jay. What did you want to talk to the brothers and sisters out here? Let them know what's on your mind, my dude.
Well, it's like, one of the first things that I found out we found out this a long time ago about this diaspora, about the term black.
Okay.
And Negro and African American and all of that stuff. And we're like, I ain't none of that. But I don't know what I am, so we just kind of roll with it because that's what we grew up with.
Right.
But now we start learning the meanings of these things. So, in law, black means dead, non-legir. So, you can look up black, what it means in law on Google.
Okay.
And it'll tell you. Black, a term associated with African American, Negro, so-and-so, and it means dead in law. So then you have to ask yourself, if we are a people that consider ourselves dead in law, socially, but we're not thinking about it mentally. Now think about when you go to court and you call yourself a black person. They consider you dead in law.
So it's a dead man standing there.
But here we go. This the part, this the catch. When you're a dead person in law, the problem comes in is you can, dead man speak no tales. So you go in that courtroom, you're a dead man in the law, you can't talk. They hold you in contempt.
Right.
They hold you in contempt because you can't speak the language. Which also moves back to a term that they like to use for us is minority. So when you look at minority, you look at the etymology of the word, you break it down. Minority breaks down to minor. Minor breaks down to infant or child. And in law, infant or child is equal to a crazy person. So again, you go into court, you say I'm black, you subscribe to the Minority Report, right? So now you have self-identified yourself as a dead person that's out of your mind.
And they have just begun. Now that's crazy.
So now you have double fucked yourself before you even got anywhere. You can't even talk for yourself at this point.
Right.
One, because you're dead. Then you categorize yourself as nothing more intelligent than a child or infant. That's why you can't speak, because infants and children can't speak the language. They babbling.
Right. That's why they don't even allow children to come in court and speak for themselves.
They don't let you either, because you a kid in the mind. It's all about mindset. You see what I'm saying? So then you double fuck.
Now that's great. Before we continue on, Gutter that made it in the building. What's good, my nigga?
What you doing,
Bro,
bro?
what's happening, bro?
We had to jump right into it. We ain't got time to bullshit with them this evening. We had to get right to it.
This is
Because this is indeed some...
This is what I consider serious business, because you know, a lot of people know me as one thing, and I'm far from that thing at this point in my life. You see what I'm saying? Yes, I'm all about peace. I'm all about tranquility. I'm all about, you know, peaceful things. But this shit right here with, you know, because we all have the right to self-identify.
Mm-hmm.
Learning first who you are, so you know how to identify yourself. Because you don't want people putting names on you.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I call you dumbass long enough, and you reject it, right? Till one day you just start saying, man, what the fuck you want? You have just accepted dumbass as a name.
Right. As a characteristic.
That's what they do with these terms. Black, Puerto Rican. You know Puerto Rican, know what that means?
No.
It means rich port.
Right. Okay, yeah, I do.
Puerto Rico. Rich port.
Right.
Port that is rich.
So how is a person named
rich port? That's the transformation. And then we get to another term what is transportation. Now, you look at transportation as your car, bus, airplane, trains, planes, automobiles, bicycles. But when you're looking at the transportation and the word, and you look at the definition of it, your mind can also be transported by way of ideology.
Okay.
So through TV, they teach you all of these things. School, they teach you all of these things. Let's just say like slavery. That's popular. Everybody like to be on that these days.
Mm-hmm.
So they tell us we were slaves. They tell us we from Africa. They tell us we came over on these ships. They show you a picture of these ships.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, at this point, they're just telling you shit.
Believe it. You ain't seen that.
You ain't
shit
seen
at
no
this point.
proof.
Right.
Your parents ain't told you nothing. Your grandparents ain't said nothing about you. You ain't heard about none of this from home.
Yeah,
You learned this from these people at school and shit.
Right.
Then they show you this pictures of slave ship. All these slaves lined up all the way around. Then it's levels, right? What they don't tell you is that famous picture that they show you, that oval jank,
Mm-hmm.
you hold that over top of the campus of Notre Dame University, and it's an exact replica.
Oh. You said the campus of
The
Notre
campus
Dame.
of Notre Dame University. You take that shit and mirror it against the campus of Notre Dame from a sky view,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the exact same thing.
That's what I'm saying. The slickness, dog.
Damn.
Now that's trickery.
But people don't believe how deep the trickery goes. The trickery goes so far deeper than all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Because if you really start digging into it, like I've been doing, and you rolling the tape backwards, then you start getting back to Sumerian culture, which supersedes Kush and all of that in Egypt and all of that. Sumerian supersedes all of that. So the tablets, and then the emerald tablets of Thoth. When you read through all of these things, then you go through certain books that the tales they have in India, the Enuma Elish, the Bhagavad Gita, all of those stories. Then you read the Bible. Then you start to understand that all of these things predate the Bible.
And it's little pieces.
And it's pieces of this and that from all of these ancient texts that they put in the Bible. The church gave you the Bible. People need to remember this part. The church gave you the Bible. The Bible didn't give you the church.
Say that again for him. Say that again. Yeah.
The church gave you the Bible. The Bible did not give you the church.
Not one time.
So you have to take it with a grain of salt. Because what we got going on is rulership from the Constantinian order. From the Emperor Constantine, Rome. They created this Christianity thing as it is today.
Council of
In
Nicaea.
the Council of Nicaea. You see what I'm saying? That blonde hair, blue-eyed Jesus is his gay son. Now, before that, the other picture of Jesus with the curly hair, well, that's Cesare Borgia.
Okay.
From the Borgias, the Borgia Pope of Rome.
Okay.
Cesare Borgia. The dude that fucked his sister, killed his brother. That's Jesus.
And even the story of Jesus. Not nowhere in the Bible did Jesus encourage anybody to create a church.
But here we go again. Let's stick with the etymon of shit. What's the etymology of Jesus? Because the J didn't exist before 1540 something. So now we're left with Isus. Isus go back to Old Greek. You know what you're saying when you say Jesus?
Talk to him, dog.
You say Hail Zeus.
Yeah, think about that.
Now think about that.
Because every person that considered themselves a Christian would swear to you up and down that that's fantasy. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Exactly. But you see, you can't get around the etymon of words. When you look up the etymology of the word, where that word originates from and comes from, and what did that mean, and then walk it forward. Because the meaning of the word don't stray. They might have added some of these new letters in there to make it sound different, but the etymology of the word don't stray. You see what I'm saying? Like minority, minor, and then you're talking about what it means, menios. It go all the way back.
But these people, they intelligent the way they set up their pimping, because they will have you believe it from the Bible that no, Adam was created and spoke words immediately. It won't taught, it won't learn, it wasn't developed over time as we know languages was developed. No, he was born and the language is already in place. He was created and named all the animals that same day.
Then here goes the thing. I bought this book called The Compendium of the Emerald Tablets. I haven't finished reading it. It's by this dude named Billy Carson. Famous dude, Forbidden Knowledge TV. He been on Gaia, History Channel, all the major channels and news shows. Talk about aliens and the Egyptian stuff and all of that. Now, going through this stuff with him, because his YouTube channel is kind of like going to class.
Right.
And he walking you through stuff with documents, with passages from the Bible, and showing you, and then telling you, this is equal to this. This is where this come from. This is what this means. So if you really, and then he go into his thing. But when you start talking about like stuff out of the Bible and the people in the Bible, but see, you have to go back to the Emerald Tablets and the Sumerian tablets. Because that's going to take you back to these two dudes named Enki and Enlil.
Yeah.
Right? So, this is where the fuckery started at. It started with Enki and Enlil. Isis was their sister.
Okay.
Right, so I'm familiar with this,
you see what I'm saying? Like,
teaching, right? Which they basically
right.
turned into God and devil in the Bible, and
they were us. We made their image,
right? Like I said, who they are
so if we are
of
made in
God.
their image, then they look like us.
Mm-hmm.
But if we start talking about them as gods, then you have to start looking at yourself like a god, because you are them, they are you.
Right.
They use their DNA to create us. You see what I'm saying? It's a fucking Frankenstein experiment, what they did to create us. They created us to be a slave force for them.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So
the same thing that was done to us. That is basically what the slave trade is.
But
is the attempt to create a slave force. You can't create the beings, but you can create the mentality. You can psychologically create them in the image that you want them in.
I'm going to attempt, because you brought up something that's important, the slave trade.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to attempt, as short as I can, to straighten that shit out. All that's bullshit. All that slave trade shit is bullshit. That's bullshit. First, they can't prove it. They ain't got no slave ships. They ain't got no rosters, like shipping rosters. And then on top of that, during the slave trade times, they had skiffs, sailboats, rowboats.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how long you think it's going to take to get from Africa to America on a skiff, a rowboat, or a sailboat?
Mm-hmm.
Now, and they're not that big. If you ever seen one, it ain't that big. They carry cargo, goods, so along with that cargo, they might have had 3 or 4, 6, 10 people. Because you got to have a crew.
And the sheer weight of as many slaves as they claim it to have had
you ain't
on
gonna
these
make
ships.
That shit gonna sink.
That bitch wouldn't have made it. It wouldn't have got
As
nowhere.
soon as it get off the coast, it's gonna sink. So when you're talking about this, you have 2 gyres in the Atlantic Ocean. What's a northern gyre and a southern gyre? That's the current of the ocean. You can't sail across the middle of that bitch, where Bermuda is, because it's Dead Sea. With all the motorized boats, you can't get through there. So the only reason we can get through there now is because we got motorized vessels and boats and shit. Otherwise, you have to go with the current.
Yeah.
So coming from Europe, why did most of them end up in the Northeast? Because New York is on an equal plane, equal longitudinal, latitudinal lines with Europe, with England, France, and all of that shit. So when they leave there, they hit that gyre, and that gyre take them north. And when they bring them back down, they bring them down the East Coast. That's why they ended up in the Hudson Bay a lot. And then going down through there into Canada, or down into New York, and they came down the East Coast from that way. That's how they ended up there in the north.
Plymouth Rock and all of that.
Plymouth Rock and all of that. So now you talk about coming south, how did they end up in the Caribbean and so forth? Well, when you're leaving, you follow the coast down into Africa. Then that gyre spins you down south and bring you back up. When you come back up, you end up right smack in the Caribbean, in the Gulf.
Okay. Sound good?
All right. So if there was a slave trade, wouldn't it make sense for it to be in the Caribbean and then Central America, Southern Mexico and shit?
That's
just based on that. It would take a lot more to keep coming up to the East Coast. And you're going to start a country in Virginia. Why Virginia? Why not Florida? Why not Texas? Why not the islands or somewhere in the Gulf? And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's all bullshit, because the slave trade, is they telling it to you, it didn't happen that way.
So that's not hard to believe. Anything they ever told me about anything is easy for me to discredit.
Everything, my brother, when I tell you, everything is upside down and backwards. Even the commas on the map.
Okay.
Think about that.
Okay.
Even the compass on the map. The southern hemisphere of the southern United States has a higher, along the coastlines, it has a higher elevation than the northern part.
Okay.
Does that make any sense?
That the south on the bottom is higher
It's higher than the north.
than the north.
So it'd be just,
It'd be just right there. It'd be just right like
just simple shit like
This nigga's
that.
talking. I'm like, yo, wait a minute.
Just simple shit
If it's
like
on
that.
the bottom,
It should be lower than the shit on the top.
how is it higher?
How is it higher?
I'm
But that's-
always suggested, and like you said, don't claim to be a scholar. Never was attempting
No.
to be a scholar. But I'm always, y'all tell me what is the North Pole or the South Pole in this grand universe that what do we know what is up or down anyway? And I can't ever remember even being told a reason.
No, you not because you haven't. That's
you
what a
just been
transportation-
told because you don't know. You're not going to the North Pole or the South. Like you not.
You don't
That's
know
where the
bad,
transportation come in.
Right, right.
They allow they give you enough information for your imagination to run wild.
Right.
They give you visuals through TV,
Mm-hmm.
teach you bullshit. Then your imagination runs wild. You have the choice to accept it or not. That's free will. But they alter your reality a little bit so your free will is skewed in the direction of believing the shit they tell you.
So, it ain't
So
even
you're not
free.
really free will.
It's not free.
That-
But-
that was not free will.
They do have the obligation to put the truth in the public sphere.
Always.
They have to do it by natural law. What they don't have to do is tell you, they don't have to take all the puzzle pieces and put them where they can put all the puzzle pieces and scratch them everywhere. It's up to you to find the puzzle pieces and then put it together.
Son, we
9/11.
just said that.
You just-
In
9/11,
the,
shorty.
the last part, we
9/11 is
just
perfect,
said-
right?
clearly said in the last part, like,
Yeah.
everything we ever learned up to this point, I knew it, I heard of it before knowing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't learn nothing new.
No. Nothing is new.
And
It
they
is.
didn't lie.
I heard that. I just didn't know. Like I had people saying that's not the truth, and so
But
it's
they don't
whatever.
explain it.
But
Yeah.
everything I've learned, did the studies, took the time, click sincere heart and all that. I'm like, I knew this when I was a kid. Just other niggas told me, no, that's not correct.
But we've been distracted.
And
with
I got thrown
shiny
off by
objects.
where they adults.
Shiny
They the
objects.
pastor.
Exactly.
They my teacher.
Exactly.
They might give me
Right.
credit.
They must know
They
better. than
must
I
know
do.
better than me. I'm a kid. Respect.
And you give them
And
that
you give them
reference.
that
You
reference
give
and
them
say-
that and be like, yeah, okay, that's what it is.
And then we grow up and find out they were all idiots.
It is, and they grown and still don't know.
And they grown and now, but this is what I've come to. Okay. Either you knew and you are that diabolical, or you didn't know and you're that stupid.
Mm-hmm. And that's what it is.
So it's one of the two. There's no gray, there's no in between. Well, I only knew this much. No. This ain't the type of information where you only know this much. Either you know the shit or you don't.
Right.
That's just a cut dry line. So if you manipulate motherfuckers with shit you know,
But the truth is, niggas
Like-
know parts of shit. Niggas don't care, and that's just the
and
deal.
that's another.
That's
thing.
why all of this is possible in the realm, the trickery, is because they already recognize and the mass is like, they
But
want a
you
nigga.
said
They
it,
want
bro.
somebody to lie to them.
You said it. No, people, I believe, people are that diabolical, cuz. You go to seminary school.
Mhm.
You are taught
They
about
know.
you are taught
They
about
know.
the missing books of the Bible.
50
in
of them,
that
over
in,
50.
in that moment, if you don't go where you got your congregation, and if you don't speak on those missing books of the Bible, you are in bed
No.
with
son.
these people, son.
I went to theology school. I mean, we might have discussed, but not in no detail.
You did what?
Do y'all understand how I went?
No, I
Do you
never heard that.
What?
Sir,
Swear to God, this nigga keep bringing up shit. We've been together, cuz, for the last
I ain't never heard that.
30 plus
Sir.
years, my nigga. We
I
all been
never-
together. What
When he
the
had time.
what the
no,
fuck?
you got to hear me.
When he had
It
time.
was no lot of time invested.
What?
I graduated from good old Thomas Jefferson High School that we all attended. What up, all the Vikings? Son, niggas doing all their shit.
what is you about to do? You know, I was military the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So once that got blown up after junior year and I wasn't doing that, I don't know what the fuck I'm about to do in this world. Everybody going to college, niggas going to military. You already know. No, I'm going to that next shit. Like, God damn, niggas. Everybody just got this shit signed. And I literally go to Virginia Union University.
That's why you was at Union? I knew you was at Union.
Yeah, I didn't know why though.
I didn't know why.
I was at Union for seminary.
Oh shit, you are Jesus.
Son.
Hell Zeus.
Hell Zeus, son. This
Son.
is Jesus. Like, I had no fucking bro.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
And thank you to Keith and Tank. I can thank y'all for, well, no, y'all was assisted me in it. Because I won't in class 15
So that's how you meet Shorty?
Who?
With the joke that was, you thought was pregnant and dipped off and
That's
ain't
how I
tell
meet her.
because you in seminary school and you slating out in seminary school, you whoring out in,
I go,
what in the...
According to history and what's been going on,
that's par for the course.
That's par for the course, baby. That's what they do.
That's what they do. So listen.
That's what they do, dog.
Son, I go in the first day. I walk into the chapel at Union, walk in, I'm ready. I want to change, I want something. I just want something to learn something. We sit down, and it's like a church where we are at.
Mm-hmm.
It might be 8 or 9 of us in there. We chilling, ain't nobody talking to each other, we just sitting there. This dude walk up to the podium, cut on a teleprompter, and show pictures of the biggest churches in the country at that time. And the pastors, Joe Osteen, and these niggas, and he was like, why are you here? You here for seminary, you here. What I'm going to teach you right now in here is I'm going to teach you how to keep your church full up. I'm going to teach you, this ain't about Jesus. This ain't about Muhammad. I'm talking about going through pictures. This ain't about Jesus. This ain't about Muhammad. This ain't got nothing to do with Moses or Abraham. You is in here for me to teach you how to keep your church full up.
Yeah, I believe that.
So I looked around and this nigga commenced to talking and started telling us about the Sims and what it's going to do. And this how you talk. You got to convince them. You got to make sure, because you want to keep these people in this church. You want these people to be paying. You want them coming out their pockets. And I mean, this nigga is just 30 minutes of, you got to get these people in this building. And over the next 4 years, we is going to teach you how to keep your church full up. And I got up. I went in there 20, 30 minutes. And I walked out of class. And I dropped out of Union. Because it was disgusting.
Yeah.
It was disgusting to me. I could not believe this nigga the first day. Like, so he want to be clear. He don't want to drag us in and trick us.
He wants you to know what you
find out in 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you right now, I'm teaching you how to be a pimp.
I'm teaching you how to be a pimp.
How to pimp Jesus, baby. We're doing that.
No, anybody you want. This ain't, I'm telling you, it ain't about Jesus or Muhammad. Anybody you want to pimp.
Buddha, Allah.
All of that. Whoever it is.
All of that, bro. Nephew, all of that.
I'm going to teach you how to keep it full up. I'm talking, keep saying, full up. And he keeps saying it. And I was like, he can't, this the first 30 minutes. I was like, I can't do it.
And you saying that, it's perfect to go into the conversation about these pieces of shit. Because, I mean, what you think they all do? So they all get 501(c)(3) protection.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Come on with it, bro.
They
Come
all
on.
get 501(c)(3) protection. They don't have to pay taxes.
Non-profit.
They're non-profit. They're getting rich as hell. That's what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the Pope of Rome, what he do every year, called the heads of all the churches to Rome. And they get the layout.
What you
But what
want
everybody don't know, the 501(c) is a kickback program to Rome.
Oh, I like this style.
They created that because government is the church. Church is the government. There's no separation. They tell you separation.
No, that's what I mean. That you say that is classic because the big thing is that it's separate. They were supposed to make it different from everywhere else on the
And
planet.
that-
Is that
yeah.
it's separate here.
But that's the flip.
Everything is the opposite.
That's the flip. They tell you that so you can transport your mind and you're going to make yourself believe it.
Mm-hmm.
But then you see in election season, all the politicians sitting in the church. All the pastors.
It's one of the first
They start
places they go.
preaching.
Yes.
And what's the first kind of churches they go to, bro?
Us, Baptists,
They go to our churches.
all day. They live
They go
there.
to our churches. Eisenhower. Was it Eisenhower that had the Birth of a Nation played in the fucking White House?
Oh,
Was that Eisenhower? I can't remember which president it was.
Mm-hmm.
You got me on
But
that
that guy, during that showing, A Birth of a Nation, with the Klan running around on the, they played it in the White House.
Right.
He said that this plan they're putting together will have these niggas voting Democrat for the next 200 years.
And they ain't never lied.
We at 100. We rolling up on 100. Once we hit the 30s, we at 100 years.
So think about it, though. They saying we know it ain't gonna last forever,
But they also saying
but we gonna get it off.
all this shit fake.
Yeah.
It's all pimp. The fucking Klan was Democrats.
Mm.
It's the Democrat Party.
Yes, so they
Dixiecrats.
They didn't start off like
Conscience
started.
Wigs.
Oh my
Mm.
God! Yes.
The Whig Party
Yes.
Okay.
was Conscience Wigs and Cotton Wigs.
Mhm.
There you know them now as Republicans and Democrats.
So that's an easy translation of why they hate us. You done box these niggas in with us and our
Well,
party. That's warfare. I like the style.
Now-
these niggas got a hell of a
Now
style.
we're getting to the meat of some shit.
Right.
Then what is their problem with us?
Right.
Now, here's where knowing who you are comes into play.
Okay.
Because the United States of America is a corporation.
Sure.
United States Corporation.
Hmm?
America is a continent, not a country.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to do with the aggregate land. So now your question is, well, the land is still here, then what country is it? Well, let's go to the Treaty of Peace and Friendship that they signed in 17 something, I believe it was George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, I believe was the guy has a lot to do with that.
We're not here to give you your history. Do your
Nah.
research.
Do your research. It's
we
all
here
there.
discussing. We be being clear with y'all about
We
that.
starting it for y'all. Y'all gotta continue.
We giving y'all some Kindle for the fire.
Right. All
That's
I'm doing
not-
is dropping a few jewels for you to go research
and
this
do
stuff.
what you want with it.
Now, the United States Corporation, by way of the Crown of England, sought treaties with the people over here.
Okay, right.
Now, the people over here was part of a kingdom of Morocco. Let me say that again.
Mhm. Moroccans, yes.
The United States Corporation, which is a merger between the Virginia Corporation and I believe it's the East India
East India
Corporation. They merged to form the United States. That corporation wanted to make a treaty and a deal with the Crown. And then they backdoor some other stuff and go around and they was getting kicked out of England and they was, having a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
So they needed a land to operate from because they couldn't operate from over there.
Right.
So they come over here. They make a treaty with the Sultan of Morocco. We in Morocco. For all y'all that don't believe it, that Morocco and Africa ain't but about 100-some years old. So ain't no way they can have a treaty with that country if it ain't but 100-some years old.
Right.
But in the Treaty of Peace and Friendship has in parentheses the United States, Morocco.
Okay.
So now you can understand where the peace and Treaty of Peace and Friendship come from and who is talking about it. So now they're talking about Morocco. Now you're talking about Moors.
Right.
All of us here around the planet that share this hue of skin are Moors because you're descendants from Morocco, or let's go biblical, Moabites, Cushites, so forth and so on.
Okay.
That's who we're descendants of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're going into the Emerald tablets and the tablets of what's the other ones? Damn, my mind is running too fast on me.
Mm-hmm.
The Sumerian tablets. They talk about things before the Great Earthquake.
Right.
They created the Atlantic Ocean. That's why the Marianas Trench. You know, so, and then the Great Flood after that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we
What's
are
it called?
descendants.
Gaia? Is that what it's called?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, but I think so.
But over here it's called Old Mexico. The
Okay.
lands, Africa further, Morocco is the lands the furthest west. Furthest north, furthest west. That's
Okay.
here. It's Morocco.
Okay.
So yes, we all are essentially African. Because the west coast of Africa and the east coast of America was married together at one point.
Right.
So when people say about the Pangea thing, they don't explain to you the lineage of where the people came from. That's why we're all called technically Africans. But when you talk about Moors, we're talking about feathers over here.
Right.
Fezzes and turbans over there.
Right.
And that's the mistake that people keep trying to
Right.
separate things.
But they do that. That's the trick they done threw into it. They make everything
Right.
suspect. They make everything suspect.
Right.
So no matter what you hear,
Right.
you skeptical already because so much bullshit is said to you in a day here
Yeah.
that you gotta be skeptical. Even when you hear something that sound like the truth, you still take it with a grain of salt because it's like these niggas where you out with the bullshit.
But then, see, here you go again. I just watch History Channel religiously on all this type of stuff. Aliens and ancient artifacts. Well, they got ancient writings in caves, on walls, and in the mounds and stuff in the Mississippi Valley, the Mississippians and all of that, right?
Okay.
That's Old Hebrew.
Mississippi.
Old Hebrew.
Okay. Now
They
that's-
found this looked like a black casket or sarcophagus with this. You open it up when they opened it up, they had this rock in it. It's black. They couldn't figure it out. Sat in the fucking Smithsonian for years.
Okay.
One day, dude opened the box, found it, looked at it. When he did, he ended up turning it upside. What they was considered upside down. They was reading it upside down. That's why they couldn't figure it out. As soon as he turned that bitch over, Old Hebrew.
Okay.
It's a dialect of Hebrew that hadn't been spoken in a long time. So, why in the fuck would that be in a cave in Ohio?
Right. Anywhere in America.
Why would that be in
So
a
you
cave in
can't make sure
Ohio?
we still run
Old Hebrew.
Wow.
So they throw little jewels and gems out like that.
Right.
You know, guy in Ohio found a cave that had a bunch of old Egyptian style gold figurines. You know, dishes, all kind of different
But
stuff.
they would have you believe
But
ain't
they-
nobody been over here.
And they want you to think that Egypt is only Egypt
Right.
over there,
That we are separate from.
that we are separate from.
Yeah.
We're not separate from that.
We
They
are.
got Egyptian artifacts and gold and caves in the fucking Grand Canyon.
That shit crazy.
The Indians, the Washitas, or Washington.
Mm.
The Washita nation in Louisiana and Mississippi, Texas, all around in that area. When Columbus was coming through and trading and stuff, they noticed that those people had gold-tipped spears.
Okay.
That was African in nature. So they figured it was trade routes, which it could have been.
Right.
But we are descendants of the same cultures. Now, I don't know a whole lot about the Sumerian and all that stuff. I listen to my man Billy Carson. Y'all go check him out. Forbidden Knowledge TV. Hey, my man is on point with all of this. You go check him out. His channel will bring you up to speed with everything coming from the Emerald Tablets, the Sumerian cultures, Egypt. He do all that stuff. He research. He go over there.
YouTube.
You go to YouTube. Forbidden Knowledge. Billy Carson.
The world's library.
And I'm telling you right now, that'll start opening your mind up to a lot of different things. And he explained things in a way where you need to go research it for yourself, but you might feel kind of crazy researching behind this man.
Forbidden what, bro?
Knowledge.
That's what I
All
said.
one word,
It's
forbidden
the
knowledge.
people just searching is the key, dog. Niggas is not
Yeah.
motivated. It ain't even, about what the truth is or what to do. Niggas don't give a shit. They got niggas, when we say niggas sleep and we talk crazy, nah, niggas is sleep out this bitch like
Yeah, put the number 4.
convinced it ain't nothing else to do but to get money in this
Number
world.
4. BIDDEN.
Oh, okay.
Forbidden.
We still rolling, young man?
Or you can do Billy Carson, and it'll come right back.
Forbidden knowledge. There you go.
Yep, that's it.
All right, subscribe. Got
Yeah.
it. All right.
But all of these things, is especially when you're talking about are we Moors or not, we are.
Okay.
The thing about it is, in my opinion, you just need to do the family research through records. Don't go to 23andMe, all this entertainment.
Right.
They can't tell you.
Performance media.
Yeah, they can't tell you where you from because they ain't dug up no dead people and compared your DNA to dead people. They compared your DNA to other living people in the database.
Right.
And the people,
And that's it. Don't say where you come from.
and that don't tell you. They just tell you where your family members are.
To say that we can say we know we all from Africa. They ain't gonna say how we left.
They ain't gonna say how you got here, how your DNA got there.
Right, that ain't telling you
You better
nothing.
have a
They can say
distant
it's a
cousin that
connection
went over
there. That's obvious.
Yeah.
Everybody
It
connected.
could be a family member.
But speaking of connection,
Yeah.
you talk about 23 and forbidden. And you said that's just entertainment. We all associate the number 23 to
Mike Jordan.
which is the highest of what? Entertainment. So like that is so funny, yo. You said like just had to shit everything connects. So I'm sitting here like what?
Yeah, you just gotta look for the
23 and
connection.
forbidden. Entertainment, like what?
Yo, my wife hit me with a joint today. Amistad.
Okay.
Alright.
Familiar with your name?
Yeah.
Spell it backwards. And then look it up.
D-A-C.
A-M-I-D Miss. A-M-I-S-T-A-D.
Datsima? Okay.
D-A-T.
It goes back, and Datsima is a euphemism for a company in Australia
Mm-hmm.
dealing with indigenous peoples in Australia.
Wow. To do some digging. I like
That
it.
is
I like
in
all of the trickery.
Queensland, Australia. Another company run by the Crown
Right.
to govern over indigenous peoples of a continent.
Queensland. They do it, y'all.
So you see what I'm saying? Like all of these things they throw at you, and they conflate shit, and they use that for you. They transport your mind to a place they want it to be by way of giving you a bunch of small bits of information from places unrelated. School, some random motherfucker over here,
Yeah.
you know, cartoon. And next thing you know, you don't even know you're thinking it. You think you know some shit. Then they put it together. You think you know some shit. You done heard it from a cartoon.
Jay.
But you don't even remember you heard it from a cartoon.
Yeah, Jay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so then
Jay.
they throw some shit at you like Amistad, and you think, oh, that's about slave trade, blah, blah, blah. But you throw it on the flip.
Bro, who are you? Like,
You see what I'm saying? You throw it on the flip, then all of a sudden, dog, it take on a whole nother meaning once you realize these are initials for a fucking company running by the Queen of England to rule over indigenous peoples in Australia.
The
play
Matrix is real.
They
Like,
playing,
niggas don't understand.
But here we go again, Matrix.
That Matrix.
They tell you every fucking thing that they do.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Different movies, they can look like a science fiction, space, this, that. And if my wife during the motherfucking during COVID watched Star Trek, Next Generation, watched all of them joints. That's all she watched really now. She done broke. I was coming home in the house. She sitting there with her notebook.
Yeah,
writing stuff down, analyzing words they're using, different minerals and shit like that they use for their space travel or whatever, weapon or something like that.
Shit
and
that.
researching different stuff, researching the spellings on different words they use. That in certain situations they say some shit, be like, well, why would he say that? Hold on, pause. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
What's the etymology of this word?
And then you figure out what he's saying. And what he mean by that in the context of what he's saying on the show.
Right.
Then you know what he means. Then you can be like, oh, I done heard that shit before.
Right.
Oh, I seen that actually fucking happen in the last 2 months.
That's the programming show.
You see what I'm saying? And that's on fucking Star Trek, bro.
You gotta understand the verbiage.
That's on
they
Star
ain't
Trek.
just making shows for to be making shows.
No. Just like the new Star Trek shit they bringing up. Better be careful. Keep your fucking eyes open.
Yeah.
Keep your motherfucking eyes open, dog.
But them shows be the ones that keep going. You be like, yo, how they keep remaking or redoing like it's a fucking reason.
No, because life goes in a 4-cycle repeat, right? They go in a 4-cycle repeat.
Right.
So, cycle 1, 2, 3, 4. We at the end every 3,000 so years, Mayan calendar.
Okay.
Every 3,000 so years, the 3,000 years take you into a astrological cycle. Right now we're going to a cycle of what? I believe it's Aquarius.
Aquarius.
We're leaving a cycle. We're going into the beginning of a fresh 3,000 something year cycle. We're going into information age now. See, before last year, we are one of the only generations that's going to close out a cycle and start a cycle.
Yeah.
And then what?
And see everything that changed from the old all the way to the space age shit to the new. We are living through the change. You see what I'm saying? Like right now, people don't understand a lot of stuff that's going on. They want to be climate change. Well, does the climate make the motherfucking North and South Pole move every day? Every day. The North and South Pole is repositioning itself, moving, literally moving.
They tell you that part
every day.
Moving on his axis.
It's moving every day. They also don't tell you about the amount of electromagnetic activity that's going on up there, causing shit to be wonky.
No, that's what I mean. They don't have us in reality anyway. They'll say like, that's boring. They not concerned with that.
Nah.
They not, but that's reality. That's what is really going on, and that's not the state of mind they want to have us in. They want us concerned, like you said, by the distraction, by government. Be concerned about the news. Be worried about niggas, right? Be concerned with all of this shit. And if you ain't worried about shit, because they understand the truth of all things, it's just energy. They understand
exactly
50% of the people is gonna worry, and for them, we give them the news, we give them politics, we give them government,
we get them back in line.
And for the ones that don't give a shit, We give them fuckery.
We give them chaos and
We
fuckery.
give them fuckery.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit, so they're not watching the news.
Nah.
But we still need them to be not out in the world
Learning shit.
learning shit.
We need to give them all the distractions.
Distracted.
Let's
Let's legalize the weed. Let's give them coke and crack and
But no,
dope
it's
for
dope.
free.
I mean, everything.
Let's just give them,
Whatever
let's
you
get
want.
Will Smith to go up there and
slap
smack the shit out of Chris
Chris
Rock.
on TV.
Let's have a man, beat out this abusive bitch in court and get $50 million for 2 weeks. That took 2 weeks. You got to figure that shit out.
Son.
As soon as I see this bitch shit on the nigga bed, that's over.
Who
He
you talking about?
win.
The
Amber Heard, yeah.
Son,
I'm like, she
son,
took a squat
son.
on the man's bed. She out of her mind.
Son.
She is out of her mind.
In the it's over.
She should have lost right there. Should have kicked her ass out of court. Like, get the fuck out of here.
This
You
ain't
did
even
what?
came here.
And you admit to doing it, try to explain to me why? There's no reason why. You're a fucking millionaire. You probably got 6 bathrooms in this bitch.
Right. You doing the most
You
right
just
now.
doing the most. So it's just shit like that, dog. Motherfuckers get sidetracked, like you said, with all of the fuckery and the bullshit. And you too distracted to worry about anything because all your free time, you distracted
Right
yourself.
there.
And they got you.
Right
And
there.
then your ass got to go to work, and half the time you at work, you can't
And
do
you
your
still
job.
there. You still right there.
You can't even do your job
can't
because
do
you
your
like
job.
this all fucking day. I know that's why I don't have no social media.
You backing into me on the motherfucking forklift, nigga.
That's why I don't have no social media. I ain't got rid of all of them type of
On the
distractions.
goddamn phone.
I go to work. I come home. I go to the gym, nigga, 4:30, 5 o'clock every morning. That's what I do. Because I'm trying to shop in everything I got. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to shop in everything. Because I'm 47. I ain't got time for the bullshit.
So that's why we're here. Because it's a lot of shit going on. And like I said, we ain't the only niggas trying to tell. We ain't trying to tell a nigga something. We ain't the only people that care.
Right.
They give a shit. So,
yeah, that's real.
But of all the people that don't give a shit and is willing to give them the bullshit, because this ain't my shit. Y'all know this is not my shit coming on here and we're doing this. Just talking. I'll do it all day because I love niggas and I spend all my time to do it. But, like, I ain't trying to perform for niggas, though. And this ain't a performance. If we gonna do it, it gotta be this. It gotta be sincere. We've been doing this for years anyway. And I can honestly say, Shorty, I miss that. I miss the basement. I miss, we knew at the time, niggas didn't get a chance. Most people in their life.
Yeah, don't get that chance.
Really don't get a chance. For 2 years to just unplug from the basement.
And the fact that we took advantage
gotta
of it.
do nothing.
People have the chances, bro, but they don't have enough courage or
to
foresight
do it.
to actually take advantage of it. But we
appreciate
did.
that shit. And I miss it though, no. Whatever need to take place,
Well, this. Their so-called government just gave their ass 2 years.
What you mean?
To do the exact same thing we did.
What you mean?
The government just gave them 2 years. COVID.
Yeah.
They also sitting in the house doing nothing and getting paid by the government for 2 years. A bunch of motherfuckers have done that. I was working for sure.
Right.
I never stopped working.
Yeah, I'm about to say
But I know a whole lot of people
never stop going.
that was getting
Chilling.
unemployment.
Getting the
And the plus of
I'm
working 60 hours a week and them motherfuckers making more than me sitting on their ass.
Right.
I made $56,000 one year and about 58, almost 60 the next. I know motherfuckers that made 58 sitting in the house. You get $1,000 a week or more. That's $54,000 a year right there. To sit in the house and do nothing. And know what motherfuckers did? They didn't build. They bought Jordans. They bought cars. They bought fuck off shit. They was ordering bottles from the liquor store on goddamn Uber and shit.
Because the economy got back to it. I'm talking about a
the
pandemic and the goddamn economy.
How
jumped
motherfuckers
straight back.
How come motherfuckers half the country not working
but the economy bounced.
But
Booming.
the economy
Snapback.
booming. Nike stocks up 50%.
Booming.
Tech stocks up 60, 70%. During that time, Bitcoin went up to $62,000 a share. Know where it is now? Last time I checked, it was at 17.
God damn.
So if your ass did that, if you got in at $5, you still G. If you got in at 32,000, you losing.
Bad.
You
I'm
losing.
glad I dumped when I dumped.
You losing.
I
All
saw
them
that little bit
kids
of profit and said, yeah,
that
let me
was
do
in
this.
college, can go to college, getting their little checks and shit, buying Bitcoin, investing in this and leveling up. A couple of them made millions.
Mm-hmm.
They diamond hands. They did not sell. And right now they're sitting at still a win because look at you invested and look what you got out.
Right. If you had played it,
But
if you got caught with
your
your
shit
pants
is
down,
at 17,000 from 62 right now.
yeah.
In a year.
And not even a year, since February.
Yeah, not even a year. Damn, it's July. My bad.
Right.
Not
Not even
bad.
6 months.
It's
Like
not
4 and
even
a
6
half,
months.
5 months.
Yeah,
dog.
yeah.
And you took that kind of loss that
Oh, man.
fast.
Whew.
And they constantly finding more billion-dollar Bitcoin or some kind of currency. What's that? Cryptocurrency scandals.
Mm-hmm.
Where people then drifted you into buying shit. They took your money,
Pulled out
you know,
and left you
when
with the bag.
and
right?
left you with the bag. Classic
Or the lack of a bag.
Bernie Madoff.
Lack of it.
Yeah.
Or the lack of it.
Left you with a lack of
Classic-
an empty bag.
Classic Bernie Madoff. These motherfuckers got all the invest and then took their money when the shit crashed. They gone with the billions.
Right.
And you stuck holding an empty bag of
A bunch
motherfucking rocks.
of worthless stock.
You ain't got nothing.
You got a whole lot of
You
worthless
got
stock.
nothing. And I'm like, by the way, just a quick plug if y'all trying to be with it, take your fiat currency. That is a debt note, by the way.
Okay.
It's not real money.
Mm-hmm.
And take that and transfer it into real money. Because the Constitution says the only real money is gold, silver, and copper coins.
Okay.
Go find you. I can't remember some of the websites right now, but
Like
do
you
your
said,
research.
Do your research.
Do your research.
It's not your
Do
news
your research. I am
emporium.
not a financial advisor. But what you need to do is start taking some of that fiat and turn it into some coins to keep on hand, just in case.
Right.
You buy that motherfucking Affleck. Why not take a couple $100 and buy you some coins and have them shipped to you? Some silver coins. You can get some silver coins for $7, $8 a coin. Some of them go up to about, $200, but you get to choose. Buy yourself some silver. Because if it come down to this money ain't shit like in Argentina, this paper don't mean nothing,
Right.
guess what you gonna have? You ain't got no skills to trade.
A lot of nothing.
A lot of nothing. And that's where the chaos gonna come in. So, hedge your bets against all this crazy nonsense going on. I'm not gonna say that too wild, but the nonsense going on, just hedge your bets and use some of this fiat, this fake money, this monopoly money, this paper,
Do the opposite.
and turn it into something else.
So
While you still can.
It'd be simple.
'Cause,
It'd be right
you know,
there. It'd be right there.
That whole money thing is a whole other conversation. That's
So before we jump, we gon' you know how we do. We don't got no format. Before we end this pod and go to
for sure.
another pod, is just think about some shit, man.
Yeah, that's all I want.
That's what we saying.
That's all
Whatever
I
it
want.
is, we ain't trying to get you to believe no
Nah.
shit. We ain't
Nah.
trying to get you to follow us and doing no shit.
Absolutely not.
We went years of our life. Years of our life. And that is long as some, because we really, our early 20s, we realized, like, we dumb as a bitch. We don't really know what the fuck. We done heard a lot of shit. We done learned a lot of shit.
Mhm.
We
Had
done did a lot of
experience.
shit.
Did a lot of shit.
But I don't know shit.
For real.
We recognized that we didn't know something. That's half the battle why we ain't fucked in the game at this point.
At this point.
As bad as we could be.
25 years later, 25 plus years later. So we just saying the niggas, young niggas, our contemporaries and all that, our peers, man. Just think about some shit, man. We can think about it, and that's what we trying to bring to the table. So
I want to plug a few names.
Put it.
Go to YouTube. I know you got it. Forbidden Knowledge. Billy Carson.
Four with the
number 4.
Yeah,
Forbidden Knowledge. Go to that brother channel. It's going to enlighten you.
We gonna put links in the comment. I mean, in the description and all that.
My brother, I've been watching this brother and going through his research and back channeling some of his research to make sure he on point, and he is absolutely 100. This brother named Dane Calloway. Get on Dane Calloway. He will definitely enlighten you to a whole lot of stuff. And his channel go back consistently for 4 years. There's a lot of stuff on there. You gonna be like, man, go ahead, man. It's bullshit. Trust me, yo. Just look at it.
Like I said,
and
read
then
some shit.
Do the research yourself. Take what he say and then set your mind to proving him wrong.
Right. Stop disbelieving shit anyway.
Set your mind to proving him wrong. Don't just go to Google. You're gonna have to do some fucking footwork. You might have to buy some books. You see what I'm saying? But do that. And one last person that you absolutely have to get with is this channel called House of Reawakening Minds. House of Reawakening Minds. Every month, this brother named Taj Tariq, Grand Sheik Taj Tariq Bey, he has civics classes live every first Friday of every month. And been doing it for the last few years. You can go to that channel and just go backwards and look at all of the videos. He go over civics. Civics incorporates law, politics, and history in a combo, wrapped up. Because they all play a role with each other. You can't have one without the other. So when you look at that brother, you know, when he's speaking, see a lot of this stuff I'm telling you about Morocco, the country, what is in that, the corporate structure of things, the legal structure of things, using etymology to guide you in the word plays. He is big on all of those things. So, and I've been here studying law for maybe about 2.5 years.
Okay.
Been studying, but since I started dealing with some of his classes in civics, a lot of gaps been filled, a lot of dots being connected. Because, you know, some stuff you just don't know where to look. And you don't really want to take anybody's word for it. But that brother is leading people in the right way and going in the right place. You just got to be open to receiving. And again, don't believe the man. Prove him wrong. Buy the book. Read it. If he suggests it, you know, look up certain topics and things and prove him wrong. You know, like I told you when we first started. You pick up this phone and you go to Google and you Google the definition of black in law and see what the fuck it tell you. I'll guarantee you piss you off.
Bandittville, we get back at you.
Hey, y'all.